People need to know the definition of inflation so people can communicate. Inflation is the increase of money supply. Let me tell you, in the inflation is when governments increase the money supply. Prices act as a sponge. It's a side effect. In response to inflation, prices will go up. Experts say that when you make a move on the interest rate, inflation will either increase or there's about a 3 or 4 month delay before you see inflation. Well, that's weird. Doesn't it make more sense that instead of inflation just starting, there was a cause to make the effect? So the reality is inflation is committed instantly. When you decided to instantly cut those rates drastically, or print money, you just caused inflation. And the bad effects will take several months to trickle to be seen. Doesn't that make sense? As opposed to the main event happening out of the blue down the road? No, the main event has happened. You caused it. The people won't pay for it for a few months. That's what you meant. And inflation is theft. Inflation of a target of 2% is so they can steal 1% and still give you a raise. That's Keynesian economics. Keynesian versus Austrian. Austrian is what I just explained, the real definition of inflation. Keynesian economics is what North America has to deal with. It's bullshit. Every time you hear an old white dude say, we need to stop, turn the channel, he's full, what's going to come out of his mouth is garbage. What you need to do, if you ask me, what can you do for the economy? If I think quick, I'll give you advice. It's get your hands off. If you want a better answer, I'll think about it and I'll say, get your fucking hands off the economy. And if you want like a detailed thesis with like research, I will swear several times before I tell you, just don't touch it. It's good advice. But old white men like making decisions, right? Again, that's theft. And government, old white men, they think they get to say what inflation is, the CPI. They don't include things that you're mandatory, that you need to buy. You need to buy things that are going up in price at a very high speed, but that's not included in inflation. Whatever old white man made that decision sucks. One more old white man, this sucks. I think men, and this sucks for me as I'm I don't know, 47. I think white men, when they hit 55, should not just, boom, that's it, you die. Sucks for me. But I think good for the world. I think men, for some reason, when they get old, they decide, let's get our hands involved more than ever and let's fuck shit up. Burnt like scorched earth. And that's me. I'm going to turn into that. So I should die before that. Makes sense. White. Old white men. I'm sorry if I didn't stress that before. Geez, I hope people didn't stop listening or watching before in like 3-4 minutes and 45 seconds. Old white men. Old black men are great. They deserve to be pissed, and they can run faster than shit and jump higher than hell. And that's not racist. If anything, it's racist against me. I'm saying I'm slower and I can't jump as high. But I played really, really, really high quality basketball. I was the point guard, and I'm white. And I saw my brothers, my good friends, they could fly. And they went to the show with me to see White Men Can't Jump. They're laughing. It's true. I know. If I say it, it's racist. Anywho, old white men. I'm sorry, I guess. I'm sorry in 7 years for the douchebag I'll become. Because at that point, I think I will be in the best position to decide the rights of women in their 20s and 30s. Yep. I'm not there yet. No, I need to live the life of a man more and become older more. Out of touch more, really. I'm too in touch. I'm not female enough to make a decision. Great job, Supreme Court. I'm Canadian. You Americans suck. You old white Americans. Men. Old white American men. Yeah, I should have been more specific. European man, African man, European man, Canadian man. We suck. African men, I've talked about them. They're cool. We suck though, not like white. No, they suck, but not like white. Not like me. Honky old men. We should talk about curling. We love it, apparently, and we talk about it. We should more of. Racism. We should talk more about our hatred for people that we don't know, but we're old, and that's how we grew up, and so that must be the best way, because the best way was the olden days. Don't you remember the olden days? Oh, the olden days. Must have been great. Except if you weren't old and white. Jesus.